Now we shall spin our wheel of deathly fun.
Apostle.
Oh, this should be interesting. What's up? I'm Luke.
Ainsley.
And we are
Queenie.
And we are horror fans reviewing horror content. We just got done watching a movie from 2018 called Apostle. There's a lot involved to the movie.
A lot?
Oh, yes, very, very much so.
Too much.
You think there was too much in it?
Too much.
Like, they could have cut 30 minutes out of the movie, maybe, or something like that.
Probably. It was one of those movies that I think it's stylized, so there are some scenes that have nothing to do with the plot. And
the story could have moved along just fine without some of the scenes.
Yeah, it's... What is that thing? It's Chekhov's gun or something, that if you show something in the movie or have something in a story, a book, whatever, you should use that as a plot device.
Yes.
They did not follow this.
The acting, I thought, was pretty good in the movie. Is it Dan Stevens is the main character in the movie?
British accents, it always comes off as good acting.
Michael Sheen is also in the movie, so those are probably the two of the most recognizable people. It is basically about a guy that goes to an island in the early 1900s to rescue his sister from
a cult.
Yes, from a cult.
Pay a ransom.
Crazy mishaps ensue.
Lots of gore.
Yes. So if you're into Saw, those kind of movies, there was that.
Not even that. Like, just if you like gore,
yeah,
it's for you.
Like, usually when you think of cults, you think that it's something that the stuff's not true, or what they're believing in is not true, and they actually did have a goddess and everything, that because you kind of think it's fake at first, and then you find out that it's not throughout the movie. I thought there was a good theme in the movie about kind of how much faith to put in stuff and how much faith to not put in stuff, and the subject of like creating our own gods and trying to control gods and stuff like that. I mean, was really, really good in there. I thought the movie was well done, although a bit in excess. Maybe they tried to do it too well done. And I feel like that I liked it. I liked the movie a whole lot. I liked it a whole lot better than the last movie we talked about, The New Conjuring. So I think I'd probably give it a strong three screens out of 5 for me. I don't know how many you give it.
I'd give it 2, 2.5, somewhere in between that.
Okay, so what didn't you like about it besides it being long?
I thought it had a tendency to be boring, but that could also be related to the longness of the movie. I'm not a fan of all the gore that it had. Like, I think it was almost like a period Eli Roth film.
I like Eli Roth.
I know you do. But see, you're more into gore than I am. But I could have done with less of that.
You thought it was gratuitous and senseless violence.
In some parts, yes.
I think they did a good job of, like, either the characters, like, for me, you were either really happy that they met their demise. Like, there were some that you were like, they're just big jerks. There was a couple of characters in there that when stuff happened to them, that you really, like, you at least cared about it, you know? It wasn't...
It made me hate men just a little bit more.
Thank you. So, I guess, overall, we're saying we give it 2.5 screens on average. It was not a perfect movie by any stretch of the imagination. But it was very good, and I would say it is worth checking out if you got some extra time on your hands.
The character that I hated kind of made a quick jump from creep to like supervillain really quick. Mm-hmm. But
You could kind of see that coming, though. You could see.
Yeah.
I mean, you felt it coming for a lot of movies.
His whole speech he gave to the two girls.
Yeah.
About everybody should worship me. I thought that was a little out of place. I don't know. I mean, I understand, and like you were talking about the fallibility of man and where they stand with religion, what they do believe, what they don't believe, where they think they should stand within it.
Well, he was obviously a psychopath, so I mean,
obvious.
So he's also a narcissistic psychopath. So,
well, he wasn't really a psychopath because psychopaths don't have feelings. He had a lot of feelings. They were not good feelings, in my humble opinion, but he had a lot of feelings.
All right, so before we finish this up, what did you like about the movie?
What I did like about the movie, I thought the acting was good. I thought the cinematography, the coloring, the shots used, the fact that it was filmed on an island, the water, I thought that aspect was pleasing to the eye.
It was well made. Yes, I do think. I mean, they did a good job setting the time period. They did a good job of helping you to identify with the characters, like I said, and care about them, which is something that like I definitely want to do when I'm watching a movie, especially horror movies, because you get big characters, you get people that die in horror movies all the time. I really felt like for the most part everyone that something happened to, besides like when massive stuff happens, that I at least felt something for them. But I did think, one of the things that I didn't like about it was that the protagonist of the film, there were times where it seemed like he was completely helpless, and then all of a sudden he would turn into like freaking Chuck Norris or something, and was just there. I mean, like,
movies have a tendency to do that anyway. They're like, oh, this person is mortally wounded, and then they.
I get it. I get it.
Up and kick ass.
I get that in a very, very hopeless situation for him, at a couple of different points, like where there was one where like he had a thing on his like. He had like
the stick thing.
Yeah, like a spear or whatever. And he broke it, and then he stabbed it. One of the just like that. And then when he had the
suddenly fought.
Yes, like he did. It was like he couldn't do that before. And then when he got the mangled hand, the part where he was like, I mean, that was. And
then like it didn't affect him after that. But getting your hands mangled and then like winning a fist fight.
Yes. Or a test of strength, basically, with somebody where, well, at that point, probably what I said earlier about the one character. Now, this one definitely was like some kind of like mentally deranged, like psychopath or something. I mean, like it was
the one with a lot of feelings.
Yeah, not him. The other one. The one that mangled his hand.
Oh,
that guy. I was like,
he was like some gimp type character.
He was like a zombie. Like his face was all wrapped up. Anyways,
he had the mask and then like a diaper.
Yeah. It was like, and he took care of the goddess. Yeah, it was kind of weird.
The main character was extraordinarily angry throughout like the first 3/4 of the film, and you partly understand it, but then I think they took too long explaining why he was as angry as he was, religiously speaking.
Yeah.
I don't know, I think they could have delved into that more.
Up front, do you think?
Not even necessarily up front, because he went from in that moment where he, spoiler, was
a priest
being tortured
in
Peking, that and they branded him with the cross, that he had so much faith in that moment that I think they could have spent some of the useless footage and useless time explaining how he got from that absolute faith to praying whilst being branded to being as angry as he was at God or his sudden disbelief in God. I think they could have explored that more.
Okay, so 2.5 screens for this one. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. You can like us, share us, do all that good stuff. Share us on the social medias because we want to hear from you. If there is a movie that you would like us to add to our Wheel of Shame, or fame, or horror, or whatever.
Shame.
I don't know.
Wheel of Death.
We are also going to be checking out like new movies in the theater as we start to go back to the theater. We'll do instant
we are vaccinated.
Yes.
Get vaccinated.
We are going to do instant reactions, so we'll do live ones of those. So that's all for us now.
Hope we've entertained you.
That's what we're here for. We'll see you next time. I'm Luke
Ainsley.
and we're Queenie. See you.
Bye.